The economy car is a lie. It simply does not exist anymore. If you walk into a dealership today to buy a basic commuter car, something to get you to work and back, you are going to leave with a loan for $30,000. For that money, you get a 1.5-liter engine that sounds like a hairdryer, a CVT transmission made of rubber bands, and an interior full of hard plastic that scratches if you look at it wrong. You are signing a contract to be poor for the next 7 years. But the smart money, the mechanics and the millionaires next door, aren't driving new Civics. They are driving this. It has a V8 engine, it rides on a steel frame, it has seats that feel like a living room sofa, and it costs $5,000. Today, I am going to show you the 7 cheat code sedans that offer more luxury, more reliability, and more safety than a 2026 Camry for literally 15% of the price. Stop paying the new car tax. Buy one of these instead. Before I give you the list, you need to understand why the old cars are better. It comes down to one word: lifespan. A 2026 economy car is engineered to last exactly as long as the warranty, 100,000 miles. They use direct injection, which clogs your valves with carbon. They use 0W16 water-thin oil to hit EPA targets, sacrificing your rod bearings. They use CVTs that cannot be rebuilt, only replaced. The cars on this list come from the golden era of manufacturing, roughly from the year 2000 to 2010. These cars were built before the aggressive EPA mandates ruined engines. They used iron blocks, they used timing chains that last forever, they used transmissions with actual gears. When you buy one of these, you aren't just saving money, you are buying a machine that was built to outlive you. We start with the undisputed king of durability, the Mercury Grand Marquis. You might know it as the Ford Crown Victoria or the Lincoln Town Car. They are all the same car built on the legendary Panther platform. This is the last sedan ever built with body-on-frame construction. That means it's built like a Ford F-150 truck, but shaped like a car. If you get into a crash with a modern Hyundai, the Hyundai will crumple like a soda can. The Grand Marquis will barely have a scratch on the bumper. It is a tank. Under the hood is the 4.6-liter modular V8. This is the engine that powered every taxi and police car in America for 20 years. It isn't fast, it only makes about 224 horsepower, but it is under-stressed. You can run this engine for full throttle for 24 hours straight, and it won't overheat. The mechanic warning: on models before 2002, the plastic intake manifold was prone to cracking and leaking coolant. But if you buy a 2003 to 2011 model, that problem was largely fixed. You can find a clean, grandpa-owned Grand Marquis with 80,000 miles for $4,500. It is the most comfortable car you will ever drive. Do you want Toyota reliability, but you don't want to pay the Toyota tax? You need to buy a Pontiac. I know, Pontiac is out of business, but the Pontiac vibe is a lie. Open the hood, look at the engine cover, it says Toyota. This car was a joint venture. It is mechanically identical to the Toyota Matrix and the Toyota Corolla. It was built in the same factory by the same people with the same parts. But because it has a Pontiac badge, people think it's American junk, so the resale value is rock bottom. It uses the 1ZZFE 1.8-liter engine. This is one of the best 4 cylinders ever made. It gets 30 miles per gallon and runs on neglect. The rear seats fold completely flat plastic, turning the car into a mini cargo van. You can fit a washing machine in the back of this thing. The mechanic warning: on the 2003 to 2008 models, the odometer has a glitch where it stops counting at 299,999 miles. If you see one for sale with 299K miles, don't be scared. It probably has 350K and is still running perfect. You can pick these up for $3,500. If you are looking for a Toyota Camry, stop. You're making a mistake. For the same price as a used 4-cylinder Camry, Camry, you can buy a Toyota Avalon. The Avalon is the Camry's big brother. It was designed specifically for American highways. It is longer, wider, and has massive rear legroom. The rear seats even recline. The sound insulation is double what you get in a Camry. It is Lexus-level quiet. Crucially, it comes standard with the 2GR FE V6. This is a rocket ship. It has 268 horsepower. It does 0 to 60 in 6 seconds. That is faster than a modern turbo Civic. The mechanic warning: on pre-2010 models, there is a rubber oil line for the VVTi system that can burst and dump oil. Toyota updated this to a metal line in later years. It's a $50 part. Check if it's been done. If it has, this car will easily hit 400,000 miles. Now, I have to stop you for a second. Buying a cheap used car is the smartest financial move you can make, but the market is a minefield. While the Toyota Avalon is amazing, the 2007 Toyota Camry had an engine defect that burned oil. While the Acura TSX is great, the Acura TL from the same era has a transmission that fails 100% of the time. If you buy the wrong model, you lose your money. I got tired of seeing people get scammed, so I created the 2026 Card Market Cheat Sheet. This is not just a blacklist anymore. It is a complete mechanics private database. It includes the blacklist, every car to avoid. It includes the gold list, the specific models where the smart money is going. And it includes the dealer destroyer, word-for-word scripts to help you beat a car salesman and remove junk fees. Do not walk onto a dealership lot without this file on your phone. You can download it right now at the link in the description. It costs less than a tank of gas, and it will save you thousands of dollars. Most people have forgotten this next car exists, the Ford Taurus from 2008 and 2009. Now, listen carefully. This car looks exactly like the Ford 500, but it is mechanically superior. Underneath, this is actually a Volvo S80. Ford owned Volvo at the time, so they took the Volvo P2 platform, which is incredibly safe and rigid, and put a Ford body on it. You get Volvo safety ratings and a trunk massive enough to fit 4 golf bags for a Ford price. You want the 2008 or 2009 models specifically because they upgraded the engine to the 3.5-liter Duratec V6 and the 6F50 6-speed transmission. The older models used a CVT that was terrible. The mechanic warning: the water pump is internal. It runs off the timing chain. If it fails, it can dump coolant into the oil. It is an expensive repair, about $1,500. But if you find one with the water pump already replaced, you are getting a $30,000 driving experience for $4,000. It is the ultimate sleeper bargain. What if you don't want a grandpa car? What if you want something fun, sharp, and fast, but you don't want the repair bills of a BMW? You buy the first-generation Acura TSX, built from 2004 to 2008. This car is a legend. In Europe, it was sold as the Honda Accord Euro R. It handles beautifully. It uses the high-output 2.4-liter K24 engine. This is Honda's greatest four-cylinder. It has IV tech, it revs to 7,000 RPM, and it uses a timing chain, not a belt, so you never have to service it. Because it's an Acura, you get leather, heated seats, and a sunroof standard. The transmission is snappy. The steering is hydraulic and heavy. It feels like a race car compared to a modern Corolla. However, there is a mechanic warning: the AC compressor. On these years, if the AC compressor fails, it can send metal shards into the lines. Mechanics call it the Black Death. Check the AC. If it blows cold, buy the car. You get leather, sunroof, and Honda reliability for $6,000. We mentioned the Grand Marquis, but if you want front-wheel drive for the snow, you need the Buick LeSabre. This car carries the GM 3800 Series 2 V6. I have said it before, and I will say it again. This is the best engine GM ever made. It is cast iron push rod engine. It makes torque right off idle. It gets 30 mpgs on the highway. It is surprisingly fast for a big car. The interior is huge. It seats 6 people because it has a front bench seat. The mechanic warning, the fuel level sensors tend to fail, so the gas gauge might not work perfectly, and the plastic intake gaskets need to be replaced once. But other than that, you can buy these from elderly owners with 60,000 miles for $4,000. It is a time capsule of comfort. And finally, the #1 car that makes a new Camry look like a scam, the Lexus ES330, specifically the 2004 to 2006 models. This was the era when Lexus overbuilt everything. The leather is thick, the wood is real California walnut, the doors feel like bank vaults. It uses the 3.3-liter V6, the 3MZ FE. It is smoother than the newer 3.5-liter. It is widely considered one of the quietest engines ever made. Yes, it has a timing belt. You have to change it every 90,000 miles, but that is a small price to pay for driving a car that feels like a $60,000 vehicle for $5,000. If you buy a new Camry, you lose $5,000 in depreciation the second you drive off the lot. If you buy this Lexus, the entire car costs $5,000, and it will probably outlast the Camry. That is how you win the car game. You don't have to be rich to drive a great car. You just have to be smart. Stop buying plastic economy cars. Buy the legends. But if you must buy a newer car, make sure you don't overpay. The market is crashing right now. Watch this video to see which new cars are rotting on dealer lots with massive discounts.